How's it going, guys? So we're gonna start the construction of our houses today, and I don't know. As I just a little behind the scenes thing, I end up having to reshoot a lot of these videos just because something doesn't work out right, or I actually get done with the whole thing and go to import it into my computer, and then something doesn't work or whatever. So today I was playing around, so I thought I had my measurements and everything all figured out right, and then I looked at it and was like, oh no, that's not gonna work. So anyways, you guys, this is the truth of the matter. This is my second take of doing this video, and so we'll hopefully it works out this time. So yeah. Anyways, last class you guys were measuring out where you live, and you were walking around your house figuring out the measurements and stuff like that. And today we're gonna start translating that actually into our cardboard and starting to create some of the walls. For mine, I'm gonna use this bubbly water cardboard, and I carefully kind of pulled it apart. I'm gonna end up probably needing more cardboard than this, but this should get me a pretty good start. And something to kind of think about, you guys, this is that really thin, you guys know what it's like, a cardboard box, like a cereal box or Ziploc bag or whatever kind of box, like a box, not thick cardboard. Thick cardboard would be fine, but it's going to be harder to cut through. And so I'm trying to make this easy, you guys, as far as being able to use a normal scissors, or if you are cutting with a blade, you're not having to really work through it. So anyways, you guys, thinner cardboard should work good. Anyways, this is gonna be my my project right here. And so I've got my layout of my house that I figured out last time, and then I also have a pencil and a ruler. Now you guys, if you don't have rulers, anything can work, as far as if you can somehow create a ruler. If you know how big an inch is roughly, and you can kind of create that on maybe even a piece of cardboard, you can kind of use that to measure out. That would work good. If you have a tape measure, or if your mom or somebody does sewing, stuff like that, they might have an actual tape, measuring device. So whatever you need to use, you guys, I trust you'll figure that one out. I'm gonna, like I said, use this box. And so something that I had to kind of figure out right away is figuring out how big, how long or whatever this thing is gonna be. And so my house is long, right? It's this long ranch style house. And I figured out across the front of it, it's roughly 55 feet, from end to end, okay? Now, your house might be longer than that. It might be the same size, but it might be taller. Mine's only one story. Everybody's house is going to be kind of different here, and that's okay. I think that'll make it definitely more fun. But how we actually end up laying this thing out, this is how the idiosyncrasies of your project are going to work. So anyways, my house, 55 feet across. My house has an attached garage, and so the garage part, let's see here, that would be, it's roughly 20 feet, all right? And to give, I was kind of making it on my cardboard here, and it would have been super skinny, okay, if I would have just made it this the width of the entire house and garage. So instead, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna divide it up. I'm gonna do the house part, and then I'm gonna make the garage part separate, okay? So anyways, to do that, all right, so this is 10 inches across. My house, the house part, is 38 feet, okay? Not including the garage. The garage is 20, 38 feet for the house. So if I take 38 divided by 10, that would mean that every inch is roughly 3.8 feet. That's kind of a little bit confusing. So instead, I'm gonna just round it to 4, and that makes it so that every quarter of an inch on the ruler, so every quarter of an inch is a foot. And that's gonna make my measurements super easy, all right? So if that works for you, you guys, if you can make every quarter of an inch a foot on your project, that might be awesome, okay? Now, say your house is like really big, maybe every quarter of an inch is 2 feet, okay, or a foot and a half, or something like that. So you guys try to just like do some math. Like I know math is maybe not your thing, but try to figure out like how to like translate your house, like the width of it, into like this width of your box. Okay. So that's the first part, is doing some math, all right? And I know that for some of you that might take up your whole like 20, 30 minutes that's left of class time. But if you have time after that, what I want you guys to start doing is starting to draw out the layout. And so like what I'm gonna do today is I'm just gonna draw the front of my house, like on here. Draw out where like the windows are gonna go and the door, and I got another window over here. Getting all that stuff down on my paper, okay? And as far as like the process goes, in addition to just drawing out the flat surface of our house, you guys, I also want you to make sure that you're working in flaps, okay? Now, what I mean by flaps is if you look at this piece of cardboard, for it to connect to the next part, there have to be these flaps, okay? So your project, like if mine's going all the way across, it's gonna naturally have the flaps on either side, okay? So if you don't actually have that, you're gonna have to like add a little flap, a little extra, like maybe about an inch of cardboard on the end of your each part of it to help that like support and connect to the next parts. And you're gonna have to do that on the top. So like say this is where my house is, you're gonna have to have a flap up here and a flap down here for it to connect to the other parts of the house. Okay, so flaps are gonna be important. But today, let's just worry about getting our math done and then drawing the front. Okay, now one other quick thing. My house, the front of the house, is flat. Like it doesn't have a porch or anything coming off of it. Some of your houses might have, they might have like a, you know, a porch on the front of it. And so like what I want you work on today is just making the flat front part of the house. Okay, so flat front part, and then we'll kind of build, you know, the structure off of that at a later point. But right now we just want the flat walls. Like on Monday in 2 weeks, we'll talk about like doing like the sides, and then we'll do like the back, and then we'll have like the basic structure like of our house. Okay, so everybody good with that? If you have questions, hit me up and we'll talk about it. You can always come on during that 10:40 to 11 o'clock time frame if you like need help like with figuring stuff out. That'd be a great time to get help one-on-one, and we can actually talk back and forth, and that might be really helpful. So whatever you need to do, if you need to do that next week, you guys, like, I mean, I'm not having a whole lot of kids jump on yet. So if you want to jump on and get some help next week, that's totally fine. Just let me know what you need. Okay. So everybody good? All right. I'm going to spend a little time quick sketching this out, and that's how we'll end the video. So you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye. So I've completed just the front part of my house, but now I've got to get the garage as well. So you guys, I'm gonna like make my little garage in the upper part here. And I've got like a jog, like where my house, like over here, kind of steps back and then it goes into the garage. So I'm gonna have to make like a little like accordion fold. Does that make sense? Like I'm gonna like make this little zigzag to like make that little thing. So I'll get that on there too. And then I'll just fold the cardboard. So like if your house is not completely flat, so like I said, mine's, it goes across and then it like drops back and then it goes forward again. So again, we can look at the picture or whatever, but I've got like this little area where there's like it steps back into the garage area. So anyways, I'm gonna make that little part up here too, and then I'll be done with the whole front, okay? All right, back to work, bye. Okay, last little check-in. These right here are my like little tabs that I'm gonna fold over, my flaps, I think I call them. All right, so like flap, flap, flap right here. Okay, and then I've got a flap and another flap and then a flap and a flap. So here's my garage door. Okay, here's like the normal like walk-in door. Here's my front door, window, window. Okay. All right, so pretty simple, you guys. Hopefully you guys got that part cranked out and put those in your daily share. I look forward to seeing them. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.